All right, speaker fam. At this point on your journey to starting or leveling up your professional organizing business, I know you're aware of how important digital marketing is. And I know you're also probably aware of how competitive and saturated the digital world is and how you might be struggling to make your mark with your online presence. Well, fear not, friends, because today we're going to be diving into all things digital marketing with my friend Marcus, who owns a digital media agency called Razer Media.
The owner, he was kind of reluctant to be the face of it. Once he realized how fun it was to engage with his audience, doing the daily lives or doing the daily stories, we would do contests, we would do surveys. The engagement would go through the roof. People every day were ready for that stuff. Whenever COVID hit, he had like a good base that's wanted to support him because he was putting himself out there. They mobilized to keep supporting his business.
In our conversation today, we're going to be uncovering all of the secrets to building genuine connection with your community online, tailoring your marketing strategies to your personal business goals, and leveraging lesser known platforms like Nextdoor. And you're definitely going to want to stick around for Marcus's personal success story for one of his clients using very simple tips that absolutely revolutionized his local business presence. So buckle up, grab your cup of coffee, and let's get into it. Hey, and welcome to the Speak Organized podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Summers, professional organizer, decluttering expert, and ADHD organizing specialist. I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. Do me a big old favor and take out your device and tap that subscribe button if you haven't already to become a member of the Speaker fam. It would be my absolute honor to have you on board. Don't forget, as you get value out of this episode and all of the other hours of free content offered on this channel, that you give us a big old thumbs up and tap the notification bell on YouTube so that you're notified whenever we post new content every single week. And if you're an Apple Podcast user, we would love it if you could leave us a rave 5-star review to help other amazing folks just like you find our content and get value out of it every single day. If you've been hanging out with us for a while and you love all things I Speak Organized and you want to say thank you with a donation, any size amount is totally fine. We're grateful for the support, and I will be sure to leave that information down in the description of the video and the podcast show notes. And we thank you humbly in advance for helping us to produce the highest quality content we possibly can. And if you're jonesing for that genuine connection, you just have some simple questions that you need to get answered, well then I've got the perfect place for you. You can join my free Facebook group. That link will be down in the description of the video. We've got 3,500 members and counting in there, all ready to jump in and offer support and answer any of your questions. The main mission here at I Speak Organized is to give you the best quality tools and resources to level up your business and have a truly successful 6 or 7-figure business that doesn't suck away all of your time. So if you're brand new to all of this and it seems very overwhelming, you don't really know where to start, you have come to the right place. I am your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business. If you're afraid that you aren't enough, like you don't have enough experience or you don't really have the goods to bring to the table to charge what other people charge or whatever story you happen to be telling yourself, I am here to help you understand that you can be exceptional with the right tools and training. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how I can help you with that. But in the meantime, let's get into this juicy interview. All right, speaker fam, please join me in welcoming my awesome guest. This is my friend Marcus, and he is the owner of Razer Media, which is a digital marketing agency, and he's going to talk to us all about it. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Melanie, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I really am a fan of you. So I'm excited to have a discussion with you just in general. So this will be fun.
Heck yeah, I'm excited too. I'm also a fan of you, Marcus, and your wife, Dominica. This is really fun too. Just a quick background story for everybody watching and listening. Marcus and I actually know each other in person, and we meet every single week in a what do you call it? Just a referral group.
Yeah, referral group, a networking group.
Networking. For whatever reason, the word networking flew out of my brain. Yeah, so we meet every week to network, and I thought that you were a perfect person to have on because I know that so many people listening and watching my show need your help, and we're gonna explain what you do. So,
I hope I can help.
oh yeah, I can guarantee it. So, We're going to talk about digital marketing. You are going to talk about it. Um, and so I know that you have a pretty unique approach. Obviously, in this day and age, things are obviously changing as more of our lives become digital, but it does feel like it is devoid of that personal connection. And your approach really is about building genuine human connection. So, can you kind of talk to us a little bit more about that and how that translates into your digital marketing strategies?
Absolutely. So, I would say one of the common things you in the business world is you have like a free consultation, right? Like, oh, how about a free consultation? And so we have that as well. And it does serve the purpose of figuring out what that potential client or that prospect is needing help with. But we focus more on it as a can we potentially build a spark of connection with this person? It's almost, I don't want to say screening because it's not really what it is. It's more like, hey, can we connect with this person? It's taken us a long time to learn about trusting your intuition
Mm.
and working with people that could end up being in putting you in a tough relationship, but you want that business, but you got to deal with the negative stuff with it too. So we've learned to take that approach to build a genuine connection with people. Like just try to figure out somehow at the beginning what kind of a spark can you create to relate to each other and kind of build on that. And if
Mm.
that goes well, then it's going to be a good working relationship. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's really important for any business owner. And I imagine that is a big part of any business owner's marketing strategy is learning how to market to their ideal client. So I imagine that's something that you help them figure out from the
Right.
get go, correct?
Yes. So what we would do is figure out uh, what their client base is. But we can help them with surveys. We can help them. So a lot of them know their clients. A lot of our clients know their clients very well, and
Mhm.
so they don't even have to take that step. But yes, the first step would be figuring out what their client base is, what it is they like, what they want, what they're looking for, and then figuring out how to express that in their on their platforms or on their message.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that is really where you kind of pull the linchpin and your business can explode because then you're really dialed in and speaking to exactly who you serve best through your efforts and all this. And honestly, I have to say, a lot of my coaching clients and a lot of people that I speak to, they don't really know who their ideal client is and they haven't done the market research. So it's nice to know that that's a first step. You say, hey, Marcus, I don't know the first thing about market research, please help. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, well, how do you normally speak with your existing client base? I would say because that's who you're going to be talking to, right? Is your existing client base.
Mhm,
If you already have a window of communication open with them, whether that be through email, like maybe you do a newsletter,
mhm,
every month. Maybe you do have maybe they pay attention to what you're doing on your social media. So you can do surveys through either one of those, or
mhm.
you can provide you could play games almost like, hey, if you answer these questions, you can win this, whatever your service or product may be. There's ways to actually create engagement
Mhm.
by gaining more information on their business. So it's almost like a win-win in that situation. But
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's you just gave three key ways people can engage. And I know there's a million more that you can help
oh
us.
yeah.
Yes, super generous of you. So I want to learn a little bit more about your background for Razer Media. So I know your business partner is also your beautiful wife,
Uh-huh.
and she has a business background working for Kraft Foods in Europe. And then I know you have a bunch of different,
Done a lot.
a lot of you're a jack of all trades, as they call it. So, tell us a little bit more about your personal journey and how you feel that your combined experience has shaped your approach to marketing with your company.
Oh yeah, definitely. So as you mentioned, Dominica, she was with Kraft Foods and she was I think she was a territory manager or a regional manager, how you would think about that. So
Mhm.
she had a sales team under her and she was responsible for, I think she was responsible for actually bringing Oreo into the market and helping actually the higher ups with the marketing campaigns and everything.
Oh, wow.
So she definitely saved us a lot of time by already knowing how to structure uh, a strategy for marketing, right? And so her having that knowledge in by working for such a global giant, that was a huge shortcut for us because it's like, okay, she has this. We can apply these things that she knows.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, when she was younger, her dad was a business owner and she helped with that. And so she had experience with sales and just the business operations aspect. So I, on the other hand, got into a lot of customer relationship situations with the different jobs that I've had. And I've learned, I would say in particular, what really helped was my banking experience.
Hmm.
I got to work with small business owners. I had a handful of small business owners I was responsible for, and I learned a lot with them. Learned a lot about operating a business. I learned the jargon. I learned what the average small business owner's mentality is like,
Mhm.
and so that helped me in the intimidation factor. I would say when you're going to approach a small business owner to
Yeah.
try to offer your services, but so I would say my ability to communicate with people and establish a relationship with people, being able to, I would say, try to establish that connection. It goes back to the first question you asked me.
Mhm.
We want to establish a connection, and that's really what I think I'm good at. My wife even calls me the people whisperer. So,
Yeah. I totally agree with that. You are definitely one of those people that when you meet, you feel like you've never met a stranger
there you go.
type of personality. I love those type of people because everybody needs someone like that in their group to help them feel comfortable. And I think that's really important. All of those skills, and I have another follow up question for you. But I
Okay.
think all of those skills help translate well if you can coach your small business clients to then market themselves to their potential clients that way, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yes. So it that's one of the big things is if you can get them to get the confidence to put themselves out there, because that's usually what it is. I would say it's
Mhm.
more about they feel uneasy about it or they don't want to put themselves out there. They think they're going to look stupid.
Mhm.
But once they understand that, hey, I'm just putting myself on video, they have they have the knowledge, they have the information, they have their people want to hear from them. They love them, they support them. And
Right.
once they get a taste of that support, it's usually ends well.
Yeah, it does. It's funny how just simply consistently putting yourself out there opens up a whole host of opportunities that you never would have considered. And I don't want to let this question fly out of my brain, so I'm going to back up and ask it. I'm curious because Dominica has the background with large global marketing campaigns, and you have the sort of insider experience working with small business owners. Obviously, the way that a large corporation operates is very different from a small business. Do you feel like the marketing experience translates from a large corporation to a small business well, or do you handle the campaigns a little bit differently? Do you feel like your expertise does well for small businesses?
I think it does well for small businesses. I think the thing with from what I've learned from her about the more bigger marketing sch- grand scheme,
Sure.
it's scalable. It can be scaled down.
Hmm.
So are there differences? Yeah, it's just a numbers thing, I would say.
Hmm.
But the mentality and the strategies are going to be the same. How are you going to reach your target market?
Right.
So yeah, I would say it's the same. You just scale it down.
Fascinating. Yeah, that's a really good thing. And I'm glad you pointed that out because I just don't want people to be intimidated and think, oh, well, that's not applicable to my business. And really, it is the same. And if you start small, then you also know that you're able to scale it up and the sky's the limit. You could grow your business to something much larger than maybe you had possibly fathomed in the past. I want to offer you a golden opportunity, one that I wish I had when I first started my organizing business. I want to invite you to book a one-on-one Zoom consult or coaching series with me to get all of your burning questions answered. No gatekeeping here. My goal is to empower you to kick fear to the curb and start your organizing venture with confidence. Discover how to find clients, set prices, structure services, sell without that annoying feeling, improve your website, handle products, create seamless processes, tackle tough client situations, and so much more. You're going to need to act fast because my calendar fills up. So visit the link in the description or the podcast show notes to book your call today. I can't wait to speak organized with you. And if you need those important forms for onboarding your clients, including the essential client agreement, I've got you covered. Save weeks of design with my Pro Organizer Forms pack. You can choose from starter or premium, and they're customizable templates in a free Canva account. Just edit the text to fit your needs and add your branding touches. Use the code YTPRO8 for an exclusive discount at checkout. Get ready to ask and receive those 5-star reviews that will boost your ranking on Google. And if social media seems daunting and makes you want to pull your hair out, then I invite you to join my class. Master a year's worth of content in 1 hour and post consistently with just 2 days of work monthly for real and learn what really attracts clients. Use my code ISOSocial5 for $5 off. And don't wait. Find all of these goodies down in the description or the podcast show notes. I am here to guide you. Ready to take the leap? So you describe yourselves as more than just an agency. So
Yeah.
I want to know kind of what you mean by that. If you could elaborate on how your expertise sets you apart in the digital marketing industry and kind of what you provide to your clients besides just helping them get on video. Like what are the types of things that you're helping them with?
Sure, sure. So part of that, we're not the typical agency or whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
is that we want to have a genuine vibe with you, a genuine connection. We don't see you as just a statistic or you're just a client. We have a relationship with you. So that's part of it. But the other part of it is, I would say the big advantage that we have is we actually have in-house developers. We have developers that we work with. So we actually have been able to build things for clients whenever the situation called for it. And that's kind of how we got started, because we were able to work with these developers from an early stage, early stage of our business. And if we were approached by someone and they said, "Hey, are you guys able to do this?" And we would say, "Yeah," but we wouldn't know how to do it, but we would figure out how to do it. And so I think there may be other agencies like that, but I think that's something that not a lot of agencies are doing.
Mhm.
And so we're able to find unique solutions, so to speak, I would say.
Yeah, honestly, with a lot of other marketing people that I've spoken to, they don't have somebody on hand that knows how to build a piece of software or, design a launch campaign or anything like that. They usually kind of just handle the visibility aspect, and they'll help you with social media, and they'll like help you write an email campaign and things like that. But actually designing, like maybe you need somebody to help you design an app. Sounds like you have a person that could potentially help you with that. There's various different things that come with having in-house developer
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah, we actually we built an email server for a client once.
Wow. Like an
Things like
entire
that.
server. You're not just like building out a campaign, but an actual
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whoa.
We did the server and then the campaign. Yeah, it was like, okay. Um, yeah, and then you mentioned an app. But we haven't tried to build an app. We're working with the client now though, who has an app, and we're helping them tweak it.
Mhm.
Building it from scratch, we haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Like you said in the beginning of this part of the segment, that if somebody asks you to do something, you think to yourself, "Yeah, I could probably figure out how to do that." Like, I love that kind of scrappy mentality. It's like, you don't know what you don't know until you know, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. That's awesome. So it sounds like, in terms of what you have to offer your client, it's pretty custom. So how do you tailor your marketing campaigns to the unique needs of your clients? Because obviously you value the genuine connection, the personalized approach. to help them with their target audience. So, what are some additional ways that you can tailor your campaigns to the unique needs of your clients?
Well, I would say the number one thing to keep in mind when it comes to tailoring things to your client is you have to listen to them. You don't want to try to sell them into or force them into a product or service that you have just because that's what you're offering. You think that's what you should be doing. I think that us being able to listen to the client helps us figure out what the approach should be. That's like 90% of it.
Mhm.
Uh, and then when it comes down to that, listening to the client means you actually have to spend the time uh, meeting with them, coming up with a strategy with them, involving them with the strategy, involving them with potential solutions. You have to work with that client hand in hand. And this is probably unique to us because we offer that custom kind of situation, but it really is. It's working with the client hand in hand. You guys agreeing on everything that needs to happen, testing things, and using what they know to build on what you potentially think will work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's important too because every business owner is different and how we each choose to take professional organizers for example, how we choose to run our organizing businesses, how I run my business is going to be different than many of my colleagues, competitors, my coaching clients, whatever. And so being able to focus on whatever our individual strengths might be to then highlight that as whatever it is to put that out there may make people feel a little bit more comfortable with the aspect of marketing their business and putting themselves out online, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Point made, point made. So let's talk about some clients that you've had in the past. I know you work with a variety of different types of small businesses. Do you work with like medium-sized, large businesses as well?
We've worked with, I would say a couple of medium size, but yeah, it's mostly been small businesses.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so mostly small businesses, a couple of medium sized. What was your question about it? I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, I was just trying to clarify because that's perfect for
Okay.
what I want to
Okay.
talk about. So I just want to hear, and I like to ask all my guests this. I like
Sure.
to ask about success stories or
Mhm.
memorable occurrences that you've had in your business that have significantly impacted a client's online presence, and how you've been able to help break them into the market essentially. Because that is something that a lot of people are very intimidated by, especially small business owners just starting out. A lot of people that listen to my show
Mhm.
are in the very beginning stages of this small business journey, and they're reluctant to want to put themselves out there because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to build a campaign. So it sometimes helps to hear the success of somebody else and
Okay.
what is possible. So if you have anybody or a situation that you can think of that's memorable or successful, please share with
Sure.
us.
Sure. Sure. Uh, there's a few that come to mind actually. So we had this restaurant client actually. It was during even I would say before COVID hit,
Mhm.
but COVID kind of made it seen, I would say. But they were reluctant to put themselves out there, on social media, and they had a really fun, energetic. They sold kolaches. Do you know what kolaches are?
I have absolutely no idea.
So so they're actually these little. They're from the Czech Republic actually, or Czechia now.
Mm.
They're like little pastries with usually like a cream cheese or like a fruit filling inside of them.
Oh, wow. Yum.
But a lot of people think they're the pigs in the blanket. You know about those, right?
Absolutely.
Well, those terms are interchangeable depending on where you are.
Mm.
But so they had a restaurant where they did both, and they had a unique dough. Very, very. Oh my! The dough was so delicious. It set them apart from everyone else. And so they had this really fun brand, and they had the owner. He he was kind of reluctant to be the face of it, but he did eventually pick it up, and once he realized how fun it was to engage with his audience,
Mhm.
by doing the daily lives or doing the daily stories, and then we would do the little we would do contests, we would do surveys. The engagement would go through the roof. People
Mhm.
love that. And we would offer like something simple like, hey, get your free coffee in Kalachi if you can figure out the answer to this question. And so people every day were ready for that stuff. So I would say it whenever COVID hit, he had like a good base that's wanted to support him because he was putting himself out there.
Mhm.
And it was like they mobilized to keep supporting his business. And then on top of that, uh, paid advertising helped as well in the way that I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but it's called Gold Belly for you restaurant people. Gold Belly,
Uh-huh.
you're able to put your product on a national scale. And so we took advantage of that and created an ad campaign to target people all over the country because he had a shippable product.
Right.
And that that kept him, he got to keep all of his employees. Business was good because of his presence in the local market. And then we expanded upon that by using paid advertising and using another platform to do that.
Wow. Okay. That right there is just that gives me goosebumps. As a small business owner, being able to future proof your business just with some really simple marketing strategies to engage your community. It's fun. This stuff is so important and I feel like so many people are intimidated and shy away from it and don't engage in that higher level marketing strategy process that an agency like you could bring to the table to
Yep.
then keep your business afloat in a pandemic, or whatever it happens to be. Everybody's business is a roller coaster. It goes like this. You got seasons that are, over the top and you're booked out up to your eyeballs, and then other times where you're just really not. And one of the things that I like to tell my clients is in the times where you're not super busy, the best thing you can do, the best use of your time is to work on your marketing and your
Oh, yeah.
visibility.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. You can never have too much of that stuff.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think I love being less busy for that reason because I'm like, "Oh, great, like I get to strategize and think about like it's a good thing." It gives you an opportunity to do have something like that happen where you get to take your business to a more global scale.
Yeah. And just to kind of get to your point, we on the earlier stages of our business, we didn't really have time to kind of put ourselves out there. I'll be honest, and we didn't even really want to because we were worried about our clients.
Mhm.
And as we grew and got more comfortable and were able to uh, kind of take a step back and look at everything, we did start putting ourselves out there more and creating the content, showing consistency, and it's paid off for us. I mean, I'll go to an event now or something, or go to some kind of uh, I don't know, social thing, and somebody will be like, "Man, I see you guys on social media. You're doing so good. You inspire me to do this." Da, 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 da." And it's like we just really started doing it ourselves maybe a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Uh, so I'm not just saying this works for client; it works for us too. It's real. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah, how ironic is that the marketing agency that has to work on their own marketing campaign? Well,
Well,
I get
that's
it.
why I wanted to tell it because
Yeah,
it's a vulnerability thing, right?
absolutely. I mean, I hire my team to organize spaces in my house all the time because I don't have the bandwidth for it, but I do that for a
See,
living. So everybody needs a helping hand, with the thing that they're good at. That's super funny, and I appreciate that you share that vulnerability too to show that it really does matter and it works. So obviously, this it can be fun, but there is strategy involved. There's
Mhm.
consistency, that C word that nobody likes. Um,
That's the big one. That's the big one.
it is a big one. And being a small business owner is not for the faint of heart. It's so much more difficult than being a business owner of any other type or even an employee in many cases. Just because everything, all the weight of the business of your business world is on your shoulders. You don't necessarily have that multi seven figure budget to hire a team of people to do something. You just kind of have to do it yourself, especially in the beginning stages. And when you're getting ready to invest your hard earned money into a service like this, it sometimes can be hard for people to wrap their head around it, and but you do need to understand the value of reaching out and getting help like this, because it really can catapult your business. So in your experience, what are some common challenges that you've seen small businesses face, that digital marketing can really just help if they would just like take the leap of faith and make the investment and the time and the consistency to try a campaign, to try working with an agency like Razer Media?
Mhm.
How can you guys help them overcome these challenges?
Sure, sure. One of the when you say it, the first things that comes to my mind, and it's digital marketing, but it's not the first thing you think of, is reviews, right? It's your Google reviews. A lot of, and this is, I'm just saying this because it happens so much.
Mhm,
A lot of small businesses or clients that we encounter, they don't make the effort to just get reviews,
mhm,
and their customers will love them and will be willing to do these, to praise them, but they just don't ask.
mhm,
And we had this one client in particular, we got them to the point where they knew that they needed to ask, and man, they made it a regular thing, and their reviews on Google just skyrocketed, and their SEO benefited from it. They became more visible, and they this contributed to them getting so busy that it was hard for them to kind of to try to take a step back and
yeah,
figure out how they wanted to expand, because they were so overwhelmed and like try to get people on board. So I would say in that instance, just something as simple as asking your client to talk about you on the internet.
mhm,
Um, the Another thing that comes to mind is being willing to just, yeah, put your face out there. If you have a business where you can put your face out there, which I think most of them do, right? Uh, have fun with it. You don't have to have this, I don't know, this big uh, super professional demeanor and you're on social media. You can get on there, you can have fun, you can engage your audience by asking them questions, giving them information, and then maybe getting them to challenge you on it. You can share stories about some experiences with your business behind the scenes. You can
mhm.
share heartwarming stories, challenging stories. It's it's really just a really it's about being getting on there and bringing a level of authenticity, I would say.
Mhm.
And like in the instance I told you about with the Kolache restaurant, people, they want to support you and they want to love you, and in the times of in the tough times, they'll be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be there for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really important. And I think sometimes the one thing that really holds us back, and why I think that having an objective third party like you to help small business owners with this, is that it's really hard for us to be objective about our strengths and weaknesses,
Mhm.
and how to highlight what is special about our business. It's, I feel, I mean, at least it is that way for me. I have a really hard time being objective and knowing how to put forth my best foot, like to put my best foot forward in a way that is strategic, that is going to garner that community engagement and that support and all of that.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes we often just get caught in throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, and nobody really looks at their insights or whatever. Nobody really even knows how to do that, and
Okay,
how to turn that into a strategy. This is something
gotcha.
that I run into with a lot of my coaching clients, and they don't have the ability to be objective about what to put out there, what to
Okay,
highlight about their businesses. So
gotcha.
yeah, is that something you feel like you can help them with?
Yes, absolutely. So you're gonna have to it's good. I mean, if you're doing it yourself, it's going to take effort anyway. So here's one of the things I think is that can get you in the right direction is get on the, it can be one platform. It doesn't have to be all of them at the beginning. Just pick one. So let's say you pick Instagram, right? Pick Instagram, get familiar with it. Like get in there, figure out what you can do, like with the searches, the hashtags, find businesses or products that are similar to yours and look at it whenever you search for them, it'll even say these are the top performers. This is them. Look at those profiles. Go through their feeds, look at what they're doing. What are they doing that you think is getting them so much attention, right? And you can figure that out by going through their feed. What are they consistently doing? And you can take that. What is Picasso, I think, said, good artists borrow, great artists steal, right? Steal, steal the strategy. Like you can take it and make it your own. You
Mhm.
know, I'm not saying just like verbatim do what they do, but figure out what it is that they're doing that you know you could duplicate it and put your own little spin on it and just start there. Just start there, you know, and that can give you your strategy. Like figure out what's working for these I don't want to say, I don't know if it's competition because you can look all over the planet, right?
Yeah,
But in your industry, what's working and how can you duplicate that? And that'll
absolutely.
help with the strategy, like just from the get go.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially if you don't know where to start. I think that's a great piece of advice for the small business owners. Is there anything else? Like, we could talk about this forever,
I
obviously.
know, I know. It's so many facets.
There's a lot. But if there was maybe like a lesser known platform or place to be visible, whether it was like Yelp or Nextdoor or something like that,
Mhm.
is there another place in the digital sphere that might get overlooked? I know you talked about Google reviews. That's a
Yeah,
really good one for SEO purposes. Is there anything else, just one other place that you could think of that
yeah,
often gets overlooked?
absolutely. Uh, I know I say absolutely a lot, right? Um,
I love it. Enthusiasm. Yep, through the roof.
have you heard of Nextdoor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love Nextdoor.
Next, see, you just said it. You love Nextdoor. A
Mhm.
lot of people aren't really. A lot of people are using it and they realize and they're taking advantage of it, but a lot of people aren't either. It's not to that high level yet with it where people recognize it when you bring it up. But people get business from Nextdoor because it's little communities, right? That suggest business to each other, and you can have people that you know who are aware of your business or who've had your service get them to favorite I think it's called recommend your business on there
Yep.
where yeah, and it's I think Nextdoor is one of those hidden gems that people don't take advantage of right now.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I was actually just thinking about that because I was redoing my marketing strategy and I was going through all the places. I'm like, okay, where do I have accounts that I'm not really using? And Nextdoor came up as one of the top the top resources that I have been underutilizing. And I think you nailed it by pointing out that it's kind of like it's like a small business directory that's interactive. Like it's
Yes.
literally for that,
It's for it. It is for it.
Yeah, and you can run ads on there, right?
I you know what? I haven't tried to run ads. I'm not sure. I don't wanna be a liar on that one. So, maybe, but
We're
I'm not sure
calling
yet.
you out. No,
Yeah,
I think you can. You can call me a liar. I'm pretty sure that you can
yeah.
run ads on Nextdoor. I think it might be a slightly new feature as long as you have a business account, but yeah, I like I said, I'm just finally starting to dive back into Nextdoor. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, we could talk about this forever. We got to just keep on rolling. We're about ready to wrap up here, Marcus. Because I want to respect your time and all that. So obviously, your agency prioritizes impacting the local economy. You like to support local vendors. I don't know that we've really talked about that very much, but the story that you highlighted definitely showcases that for sure. So, how do you like to integrate that commitment into your marketing strategies with client relationships? I feel like it's going to be a really important part of how people should market
Yes.
to their communities.
Sure. So as far as incorporating it into our marketing strategy, So there's local vendors, right? Other local business owners. If you can do collaborations, that's huge because you're basically exposing your market, or sorry, your audience to their audience and vice versa. So there's a local one that local business partner that we like around here in Vancouver. It's called Passages to Success. Have you heard of those guys?
I haven't actually.
Okay. So they are a local resource for business owners. So they give resources, they do courses, they do webinars, they have events, workshops for small business owners, and they try to educate you. Like, it's really for somebody who's kind of just starting out, or they're still young and they want to expand, and uh, they don't have anybody. You know how I know, probably when you're first starting out, it's almost like it's just you,
Mhm.
the internet, for finding answers for anything you need help with. Well, this is kind of Passages to Success is, hey, we have a whole community of business owners and we all help each other. So we've done collaborations with them and exposed our markets to each other. So that's one thing we've done. We are big advocates of the Fort Vancouver Library Foundation.
Oh yeah.
We've sponsored things for them. We've helped them with their website. We've done all kinds of things with them, and they have a huge set of eyeballs on them. So I would say whatever you like, whatever you support when it comes to other local businesses or charities or nonprofits,
Mhm.
expose yourself to them. Go and meet with those people. If you can get into events with them and meet the representatives or the people who are kind of in charge of getting their message out there,
Mhm.
get in good with them and see about collaborating, or see about what you can do to help them. See what you can do to help them, and
Absolutely.
it'll come back. It'll come back.
Absolutely. That is fabulous advice. I mean, that goes beyond just the digital marketing aspect to the into the community in such a great way because you can sponsor an event for them. You can there's I've just my wheels are turning when I think about stuff like that.
And
And
sponsoring doesn't have to be expensive, just so you guys know. It doesn't have to be like break the bank.
right, right. Yeah, sometimes, in many cases for things that we've done, we've sponsored services. We haven't even put forth any capital necessarily. We're just sponsoring it by donating our time, volunteering, offering free services to, their community or whatever, and then that's a great way to promote online and things like that. Just to kind of, like you said, be exposed to a larger audience, especially the Fort Vancouver Library Foundation. I love them. They're great for professional organizers because obviously we get a lot of clients who have tons of books, and people are really funny about getting rid of their books. Like that's like each book has a name and a feeling. It's like killing a child when you try to take books away.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
intense. And I use Fort Vancouver
I would do
Library.
that either.
Oh yeah, like, are you that way?
Yeah, if you try to get rid of my books, what do you?
See? People are, like, really intense about it. No, I don't use the Marie Kondo, KonMari method because she actually encourages you to rip pages out of your books that have your face is amazing, right? It teaches you to, like, rip pages out of your books to keep just the excerpt that you wanna keep rather than the whole book itself, and I mean, I would never suggest that to a client 'cause nobody has ever taken me up on that, even if I were to try. But I love Fort Vancouver Library because it's a great place to give your books a second life that
Mhm.
gives the people permission to actually go on and donate. So, they obviously have a large reach in the community. So, anybody watching and listening, I've got listeners all over the world. Think of something like that you could reach out. And like you said, it's just as simple as going to a community event, meeting these people, saying hello, handing them a business card, and starting a conversation. Right?
That's it. Offer to help somehow. How can I help? You
Yep,
know?
I love it. I love it. So, I at this point want to wrap up and say thank you. I know that this conversation has been very valuable for a lot of people, to just give you a place to start if you're not ready to hire an agency. But there might be people out there who know that they're not good at this stuff and they need help. So how do we get in touch with you? Is there something special that we like, a way that we can we can get in touch with you and maybe start a conversation about
Sure.
a marketing campaign for some of these
Yeah.
business owners?
So our website is raiseyourmedia.us. So or .com. We got all the domains. You can type either one of those. And you can go there and you can go to our calendar and put in for a consultation so we can get to know you, And a lot of I'll tell you this, a lot of consultations we do or we've done, we genuinely try to help you. It's not like we're trying to sell you. If you have a problem or a question about something that we genuinely can like give you an answer to and that helps you, so be it, So yeah, razormedia.com or razormedia.us.
Perfect. Yeah. Simple as that. Marcus is so humble. He's like, I don't want to try to sell anybody anything, but I think that this is really important stuff. It's clearly very impactful and you're so generous with your time and your expertise. I will also make sure everybody listening and watching today that Marcus is a member of our free Facebook group. We've got 3,500 members at this point in that group. It's growing pretty rapidly. And I'm sure that people would love to ask questions once this episode goes live. So I will make sure, Marcus, that you're in that group in case
Yes,
people want
please.
to connect with you there to ask questions. But yes, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. We could go on and on. I already see it. So
Yeah. Yes, that's why that's why I'm officially like dragging you into the Facebook group because people are going to probably want to talk to you about a bunch of different things. So thanks, Marcus, for coming on and sharing with us today.
good to see you.
All right, fam, that's going to wrap it up. And I so appreciate, I cannot stress enough how honored I am that you chose to spend a little bit of time with us on the Speak Organized podcast. I hope you got value out of today's content. Please, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. You can pop into the Facebook group. Marcus is a member of that group. If you have questions for him, be sure to tag him and ask whatever you need. Remember to book that coaching call. My calendar is filling up super quick and I want to make sure that you get the opportunity to get all your questions answered. I love nothing more than the opportunity to strategize with you. That link again will be down in the description and the podcast show notes. And the link to donate to the channel will be down there as well. Beyond that, I hope you guys have a fabulous day and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.